Hi, myself, I'm Subhakatik Reddy, and yeah, so we are building at Microfox. What we are essentially building is, the next level framework that is needed for, for developers to build AI agents more properly, and make sure that they follow the standard protocols. Right now, it's all of it is a mess. If you want to build AI agents, like A2A is there, MCP is there, the authentication troubles are there, the HIDL problems are there. HIDL means human in the loop systems in the place. At least in the first 1 to 2 years, we believe that human in the loop becomes really important for AI agents to effectually help human beings. And that's why you're not actually seeing the most of the AI agents that you hear outside the world are just AI chatbots. That is not the full extent capabilities of what AI agents can do. It's just that people are stuck at a problem where, developers especially are stuck at a problem where building AI agents that can communicate with the user's data securely through the network is very hard at the current point, like whether it can be Google data or Slack data or anywhere else. So we are building a framework, a developer framework, like how there is Next.js for web developers, when web applications became very popular back in the day. Now we believe that agents will become quite popular essentially when A2A protocol and MCP protocols really go live, and at that stage people will have host assistants which are capable of communicating with agents, and developers will be building agents just like how web developers are building web applications nowadays. So agents will become very popular in the future, and for that to happen, there needs to be a standard framework that needs to support all the existing features that are already there, like A2A, MCP, and all these specifications and standards, following them, while also giving the developer the power, to communicate with the user's host assistant effectively. So this entire thing is what we are actually building, and during this process we are also diving deep into the Darwin-Gödel machine kind of stuff. So like it's like code that writes code, making AI agent development, and not only AI agent development, basically any code or web application or anything, any kind of development, far more easier. So in order to explain this, let me just show you. So there is a lot of packages that we have been building, like micro SDKs, and I can show you the micro SDKs. So micro SDKs are SDKs that we developed so that people, can easily extract data from the user side and develop agents faster and all that. But these are like really a very, very minor part of, the entire framework setup and all that. And most interestingly, what happens here is at least 70% of the code that you see in this framework or in these micro SDKs are totally maintained and redone by coding agents that we build ourselves. And at the final stage is where the human in the loop comes into the place, and our maintaining developers, they review them and they keep them to the standard and all that. So they needed an separate framework in order to build coding agents, and we are also been building that we're calling it the code loop. So it follows the Darwin-Gödel machine, which was introduced by Circona. But well, when we got into this idea, we did not know they already had tweaked this. It's the concept where an agent can improve itself iteratively by manipulating its own source code. So that is primarily what the code loop project is. And inside the code loop, again, there is a lot of frameworks and a lot of packages that are being built and engineered primarily to make coding agents far more easy. And micro SDKs, as I said, are like plugin functionalities that are needed for you to develop agents faster. And X framework is the framework that we are building to make AI agent development far more easier to build, easier to deploy, and easier to distribute across the web. So that is the prime goals of the X framework. AI router is an alternative for LangGraph because we believe LangGraph is pretty bad, and we had to build a specific solution for the full stack community who are more TypeScript oriented and are to the AI SDK users and all that. I can show you a couple of agent examples here. Like Slack is an agent that is built by someone, but it is being distributed to the hostess tenant, that is Microfox. So this kind of plugin mechanism is what the X framework is trying to power up. No, it is not yet open. It's just that the background layers are being stepped into place, and as we foresee that it will be out really soon, and developers can easily build agents. And the most interesting part is, at least we believe coding should be semi-autonomous in the future. It should not be like back in the day, right, when developers wanted to build Next.js applications, web applications. They had to read the documentation of Next.js and understand everything, right? So that is how it goes. But we want the X framework to be semi-autonomous. That means X frameworks comes with inbuilt coding agents that lets you set things up faster, so that you don't really need to, you know, microcode everything else. And yeah, this is how you can, distribute your agents. As you can see in the demos already, you can basically, develop agents and then distribute across platforms, like a public kind of way, like how websites are built and then served through browsers. So we have agents being built in the backend and served through A2A protocol, MCP protocol, and the OpenAPI protocol, which we are, trying to standardize as a specification for, simpler mechanics. And yeah, I guess yeah, I'll stop there. Thank you.